Welcome back to another video from the Traveler Toolkit. My name is Joel, and today we're taking a very close look at one of my favorite pieces of gear that I've been camping with this spring and summer. It is the Chuk Outdoors Kitchen Box. And of all the gear that I have in my setup right now, this is one that really brings out nostalgia unlike any other, because it's made of materials that feel like the classic camping equipment that you might have taken camping with your parents as a child. It's made of metal, it's got metal hinges, it just works and snaps together the way gear should, but at some point has been lost along the way. So in this video, I'm going to take you through all the features, how I use this, and give you some camp kitchen tips that I've picked up along the way that might just help you have a greater time when you're cooking in the greater outdoors. And I'm not going to bury the lead. Chuk Outdoors has been very generous in this partnership to give our viewers a $100 off code. So use code TRAVELER100. I'll leave a link in the description to get $100 off your very own Chuk Outdoors Kitchen Box. Okay, so since you've already seen me set it up and you know that happens pretty quickly, let's go ahead and talk about internal storage and why this kitchen box idea is really fun. The first thing is you can store everything right here in these two drawers. They're large stainless steel, I believe, drawers, and they're not on traditional hinges. They do come all the way out. They're basically stainless steel pans. You've got a thick one in the bottom, and I carry everything I need in these two drawers for cooking. For instance, I stick my griddle down here. I even stick my butane cans and my little propane cans down in here. I've got this really nice organizer from Gregory here that I keep all of my dishes and silverware and even my tongs and cutting knife and stuff for cooking in here. And so I know wherever I go, I'm going to have everything I need to make a meal pretty quickly in these drawers. So I've got this big, thick drawer down here at the bottom, and it simply fits into these sliders and goes in. Now you need to be patient with it because it's not on a slider system. You can get it stuck. Then right above it, you have a thinner organizer. Kind of looks like a baking sheet, right? I've seen some people put like silverware organizers up here or drawer organizers to put different things in there. I haven't really done that yet because right now I'm storing all the accessories for the kitchen box on this second drawer, and they're all out on the box at the moment. So this is where I'm storing that. And finally, we have the grill. Now I've chosen to test out the Jetboil Genesis system this year, which is probably, admittedly, not the best system for this box because you have much more room for something much bigger. This is a clamshell design, and if you needed more space, you could gain it by clamshelling this up. Now I have left this out just like this. It travels nicely. It has rubber feet on the bottom. So if you're going to leave your grill out, I think you need to choose one that has rubber feet. Now this section, let me just set this out. This section is to a removable drawer. It's really thin and small. And if you had a shorter grill, you could put it up on the higher setting like this, or I go on the second setting down here. And a lot of people that I have seen with these cook in here, but you could also take your top, close this off, and choose to cook right on top like that. So you have a couple different options, but essentially, if you close this lid, it becomes a huge, long table with lots of accessories. And so here's my first hack. Since this system really kind of sets on the platform of small green propane bottles, and I know a lot of you out there are trying to get away from these type of bottles, which are necessary for a lot of small camp grills, I'm going to suggest checking out this really cool hack that I found. This is from a company called Ignik, and it is the tap rack. So these are essentially tiny little refillable bottles. Each one is 15.5 ounces put together in this rack. You could take this to a Tractor Supply or a local hardware store, anywhere that fills propane tanks, and you can get it refilled as a regular 5-gallon tank. Right here's the inlet, and there are even instructions wired right here to the side of this. So you get 4 tap rack bottles. You can buy a case for this, or I often travel like this with them, but it's a really cool replacement for these little green bottles and something that's reusable and still works with most little camp grills. So I'll leave a link to this in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. Now, I do have some other things to show you on the box, but right now I want to tell you about today's video sponsor, eTrailer. That's right, eTrailer has been my source for everything camping, RVing, and outdoors since I started traveling back in 2018. So if you're looking for everything from an air conditioner or a vent for your RV to maybe a rooftop tent, a fireplace, or even a camping chair or grill, they have it, and they're some of the best service and support in the biz, so make sure you go to the link down below in the description and check them out. I have been a user long before they were a sponsor of this channel, and I will continue to be a user because they have great tutorial videos, they have great pricing, and a lot of products that you're going to need. It's just a better experience than buying somewhere like Amazon or going into Walmart. eTrailer is the place to go, so check them out at the link below, and a big thanks to eTrailer for sponsoring our channel. Now let's talk accessories, because you probably saw me clip a lot of little doodads onto this kitchen box, and that's because Chuk includes a really easy mounting system. See these plastic tabs right here? They simply meet up with the edge of these side panels and clip on like this. Pull them up, they come off, set them down on the lip, and they're easy, firm, and they hold really well. This is like a shelf here on the side that has an attachment with paper towels on here, and this is my other kitchen hack for you. Don't use regular kitchen towels. Use Scott's shop towels, the blue ones, because they stay raveled up really nicely. They kind of stick to each other and stay in a roll, and they're a little bit thicker and more durable than regular kitchen towels, and I have no problem using these around the campsite. Much prefer these Scott's shop towels, and they go right here on this rack. This whole shelf can lift off just like that, or grab back onto the ledge and snap down, keep my spices, keep my spatula, keep my my handle pot holder here for my skillet, in case it gets hot, even throw the meal I'm about to use in here. But these shelves, the cup holder, and even a light system are things that you can add on to this kitchen box. And I'll admit, the first couple times I went out, I did not put this little light stand onto the kitchen box. It's pretty simple. It's just like a telescopic rod that you would use to put a tent together, just like this. And it snaps into a little arm that is already attached to the side of the box. And then you have these two hooks up top, which hold a pretty heavy lantern. This is my favorite. It's the Flex Tail Altask light. And I've got this little lamp here on the bottom side that I can adjust in any direction I want. And I simply hang it here. It's high enough, gets my workstation nice and bright, and allows me to prepare food after dark if we spend all day on the trails and don't get back until the sunlight has faded into the distance. And don't forget about these two accessories. This is a really nice cutting board, which admittedly looks brand new because I have yet to use it. I go to the campground most of the time with my food prepped and cut already, but I have carried this around in case I wanted a different style workspace that wasn't the metal tabletop here. And this little trash bag holder has become super handy. You can put the edges of your trash bag down here, clips on the side, and you can just kind of cut things and push them right over into the trash bag if you want to. But all these little accessories make the box much more functional, and you can use what you want and leave what you're not going to use at home. And because you really haven't gotten close to the box yet, let me give you an up-close tour of the kitchen box and all its features. I'll start with these handles here. These are pretty ingenious. They hide out of the way when your sides are up, and they lay down flat when not in use, but you can pull them up. Big rubberized coating here on the edge of the handles. Very comfortable, but they slide down, and just, it makes a lot of sense. You can easily grab them, and they stow right away really quickly. Look at these hinges. They just make sense. They lock in, lock out, just like all the vintage camping equipment you're used to. All the snaps look like this. Look at these metal snaps. There's ball bearings in here, and they accept here on these little guys. It's just all quality materials. Look at these latches. You have a rubber gasket all the way along here so nothing gets wet. You have these steel cables, rubber coated, of course, to hold everything up. There's your latch again. One thing I was kind of surprised by is you have to open this latch to push it and close it. You can't really slam it, but it is a nice tight closure. Clips in there. Here's your latches down front. And I'll show you this in just a minute, but this has a curious latching system from underneath. You have to pull this guy here to let your feet release, and then pull it out again to let them come up. but it's really an ingenious system that you can do in just a few minutes. And you also have leveling feet here on all 4 legs. You can unscrew the bottom of these to level, you know, a little bit. It's not going to bring it up a foot. But here's another section that you probably couldn't see before. Look at these hinges. It's almost like bookshelf hinges. I've seen these on workbenches and stuff. You pull these locks here and they come down. We'll do that in just a minute. Pull them up, they click. They also included kind of a grid bar system here. You can hang little hooks on here to get like towels. That's a great place to put towels. I use like Night Eyes S Beaner hooks on there to just hang stuff. And then of course, we kind of already talked about this, but I wanted you to see this up close. This is the mounting system on the edge here for all the accessories. They kind of set on the side like that, and you pull down, they lock in. You can pull up, they come off really easy. But there is like a trough that runs around here all the way around. You can hook your accessories wherever you want. Where I have them is just what has worked for me. But yeah, it has been a super high quality piece of gear that I know I'm probably going to be able to pass down to my kids. I really like that. And now that I have everything put away, let me just show you how this comes apart. Obviously, we're going to shut the lid here for ourselves. And then on the sides, we're going to grab the latches on these shelves, click them both down. They'll come down and they snap. You want to make sure they snap into place because they'll stick out if you don't. So unlock the latches, snap them down. And then it gets pretty easy. All you do is hold one of these handles. You always kind of want to stand on the side of it. So I always stand where my left side is here. And then you want to unlock your feet first. Just pull your feet locks up. There they go. It's not going to fall without the locks on. It's just a little less stable. And you want to bring this side up first and grab your little tab in the front, pull it out. That leg is caught up. Then you can set this down. I'm going to do it from behind so you can see. Just set this down and leave the right side flipped up. You grab the tab again and then just kind of push your other leg up and you're complete. Everything is done and in here. And I'm not going to tell you that this is light, that you can carry this 400 yards away. It probably weighs 40 to 60 pounds, depending on how you load it, but I can pick it up in and out of my truck, carry it 20, 30 feet, no problem. And this thing is fully loaded with grill, griddle, everything I'm going to need for my cooking and kitchen experiences at the campsite. All right, I'm gonna take the rest of my supplies back over to the camper, but don't forget about that special discount code that Chuck has provided. Our subscribers only, Traveler100 for $100 off your very own kitchen box. I'll leave a link in the description along with a link for all the stuff that we talked about in this video. Hopefully it was helpful to you to see some of the tips I have for camp cooking and the gear that I'm using this summer. As always, my name is Joel. This is the Traveler Toolkit, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.